It's not just a Flint issue, it's a New Orleans issue, it's a Buffalo, New York issue, it's a Washington, D.C. issue, it's a Chicago issue. It's an everywhere issue.
Louisiana ranked third among states with the most dangerous drinking water in the country, as over 36% of residents who received water from public systems had health-related violations. Of the cities affected, New Orleans and surrounding areas had astoundingly high levels of contaminants in the water.
New Orleans has an ongoing lead issue because of how old we are. And the problem is the density and the scope. Sewage and Water Board has a massive undertaking on their hand where we always thought, well, lead is just an issue in the French Quarter, it's just an issue in the Marigny or Bywater, and it is an issue there, but it's also an issue in Lakeview, it's also an issue in Algiers, it's also an issue in New Orleans East, because lead, like a lot of things, travel, and if you have the right-of-way or the public line has lead, that means you have lead.
In a recent study conducted by Jessica Dandridge and the Water Collaborative of Greater New Orleans revealed that 88% of homes tested in the city showed detectable levels of lead in their water. This is largely due to old lead pipes still present in the plumbing of many older homes. Lead can cause major health problems if too much enters the body. It can cause damage to the brain and kidneys and can also interfere with the production of red blood cells that carry oxygen throughout the body. It can even negatively impact mental and emotional health, often leading to depression and rage.
Especially children, because those are their developmental years. It can have a huge impact on, one, your overall neurological health, right? So how you think, your emotions. It also has a huge impact on your mental health. And then again, of course, over time, as you age, that can impact your organs. It is with you for a lifetime.
In another study done by the Lead Crime Hypothesis, there is substantial evidence linking lead exposure to a heightened risk of criminal behavior, particularly violent crimes, which often occur in more impoverished areas.
We oftentimes think of poor people as more crime-ridden, especially when you think about the racist ideas that Black people are more, prone to crime, or maybe it's just that we're more prone to drinking lead water, right? I'm not saying that that's what the issue is, but I'm saying there needs to be more done on the subject.
So how do we fix this?
I think the first thing is knowledge is power. So get your home tested for lead. That's the first step. The second one is, if you do have lead, your options are, the most important one is to mitigate that. Let Sewage and Water Board know, hey, I found lead in my home. This is what I found, it's this many parts per billion. Or the next part of that is to get a filter or a reverse osmosis system. There's a bunch of different versions out there now, thankfully, not just one. But the best thing we found is the EPA approved the Brita filter with lead that does lead removal. The last thing is to advocate and advocate for yourself. You're already paying for the water that's coming out of your faucet. Why pay twice? But again, we have to make it a national issue. It can't be swept aside. It's just as important as your air. It's just as important as the land that you stand on. Water is your life. 70% of your body. You have to use water to feed your pets and your children, as well as water your plants. It is more important than anything. And we have to start prioritizing that in this country.